Ever since I got this truck, I've been looking to upgrade the sound system, but as a taller guy, it's harder to find a sub that'll fit behind the bench seat and give me enough legroom. That is until now. This is the Rockford Frostgate Prime R2S. It's a 12-inch shallow sub, and it fits perfectly behind a single cab's bench seat. It measures 5¼ inches on the bottom, and on the top only 3½. And being only 13 inches tall, it's the perfect fit for these old single cab trucks. So let's get this installed and see how it sounds. And since we're upgrading the sound system, it's probably good to have a comparison so we can hear the before and after. So I downloaded some royalty-free music to see if we can hear the difference. And nothing pairs better with an upgraded sound system than some new sound deadener. So I picked up a box of Kilmat so we can keep the outside noise out and the tunes crisp and clear. So let's get that installed real fast.
This is the quick Kilmat install. To see the full video, check out the channel or click the link in the corner.
Now that we have our carpet removed, we can get started on the wiring. I got all of these items on Amazon, so they should be all available for you as well. This is a Rockford Frostgate 12-inch sub. It came pre-installed into the box. And I'm pairing it with a CT 5-channel amplifier. This is a Class D 5-channel amp, and it was super affordable. And because I'm currently only running 3 speakers, 1 sub, and 2 front speakers, I really only need 3 channels. But in the future, I might want to install 2 more. I got this 4-gauge wiring kit from CT Sounds as well, and it comes with all the wires that we're going to need to hook up the amp and the sub. But it only includes RCA cables for the sub. So I had to pick up another set of RCA cables for our speakers. And then finally, this is our bass dial for our subwoofer. This came with the amplifier, and it's going to be one of the wires that we're hooking up as well. All right, we're going to be installing our sub and our amplifier on the rear side of the cab, which means we're gonna have to run most of our cables from the rear to the front of the vehicle. Next, we're gonna go through all of the specific wires that come in our kit that we're gonna be using. This primary kit that I got uses OFC, which is oxygen-free copper. That means the wire is purified to enhance the conductivity and reduce corrosion. You'll pay a little more for it, but it's definitely worth it over time. First thing we got is our power fuse box. We're gonna connect this to the power wire going from our battery straight to our amp, and we're gonna be connecting as close to the battery as possible. Next, we have our bundle of cables and wires, and the first one here, already wrapped up in a protective sleeve, is our ground wire. This will be attached to a grounding area of our chassis, and it'll go right into the amp. Next, we have our subwoofer RCA that's going to go from our amplifier over to our stereo. And then this thick cable right here is our power wire. Like I said, it's going to be fused and it's going to go from our battery over to our amplifier. And then second to last, we have this blue and white stereo wire, and that's going to go from our amplifier individually to each of our speakers. And then finally, this last brown wire is our remote power wire. It's going to be going from the stereo over to the amplifier, and it's going to let the amplifier know when our radio is turned on. We've got our second RCA kit here, and that's just going to include our RCA cable, and they're going to send signal from our stereo over to our amp. Now that we discussed all the wires we're going to be using, let's get into installing them. First, we're going to start with our power wire. Like I said, this is going to be a fused wire from our battery to our amp. We want to make sure that our wire is fused to prevent fires or overheating if any short circuits occur. The fuse box has 2 ends, and I'm going to show you how to install the power wire to it right now. This part of the power wire is going to be connected to the battery. The eyelet side is going to be connected to the battery, and the stripped off side is going to be connected to our fuse. All we do is drop that in, and then we can tighten it down. And that's one side good and tight. And now we can get our other side installed. This wire is going to be going from the fuse into the cab and over to our amp. Tighten that down, and that is all you need to do to get the power wire fused up. My battery on my 4.9 is located on the front of the passenger side. We're gonna have our fuse right down here, and we're gonna run the power wire into the cab. And I've seen a lot of videos of people run their power wire across the engine all the way to the driver's side and then inside from there. But luckily on this truck, we can run the wire directly underneath our AC system. If we go to the inside of the cab on the passenger side, we can see right underneath our AC box, there's a foam pad on the firewall right here. And if we fold back the foam pad, we can see a perfect area right here to drill a hole. And it leads directly over the wheel well and under the AC box. I measured the wire, then took a step drill bit and drilled a perfect size hole. Then I went into my box of grommets and I found the perfect size one for this hole. Once I got that installed, I took my power wire and I fed that on through the hole. Push a good couple of feet of that and we'll be able to find it on the other side. Then go back into the engine bay and we can find it right underneath our AC box. And then just work that around some of the other components and we can get it connected to our fuse box. And then like we just saw previously, we just connect it to the fuse box and we are good to go for our power wire. And then we're not gonna connect it just yet, but that is the only thing that we're gonna be doing in our engine bay. And now we can move back into the cab. We're gonna take the power wire and we're gonna run it down the side of the cab right here. Maneuver that through everything and we're gonna run it right to the back of the cab. And once we got it routed back there, that's it. Just leave it and we can move on to the next part. Next, we can get started installing our ground wire. On this truck, right behind our bench seat, we have a couple different grommets that lead outside. This one here goes directly underneath our cab and right to our frame. So I took off the grommet that was installed and then went to my box of grommets and then picked the perfect one. And with that installed, we could do the same thing we did with the power wire. Just feed a little bit through and we'll find it on the other side. And now we can go underneath the cab and find a mounting point for that ground wire. And like I said, right underneath that grommet was our frame. And the frame is a perfect mounting point for our ground. So I grabbed a drill bit and I made a mounting hole. Then I took a random bolt and a nut from the garage and I securely fastened the eyelet for the ground. Now that our power and ground wires are installed, we can move on to the next step. To reduce electrical interference, we're going to run our stereo and RCA cables on the driver's side of the cab. First, we can take our speaker and our sub RCA cables and get them routed from the rear of the cab to the front. We want to move these up through the dash all the way over to our stereo. We can leave those there for now, and then we're going to be grabbing our remote power wire and our base adjuster wire, and we're going to be routing those the exact same way. And once we have those routed, we can start getting them connected to our stereo. And for that, we're going to get to the back part of the stereo. And the part we're going to be focusing on are these RCA inputs right here. Our stereo has 3 sets of RCA inputs, 2 for the subs, 2 for the front speakers, and 2 for the rear speakers. And like I said, we're going to be installing the RCA cables for our rear speakers, even though we don't have them just yet. And then the only wire we're going to be focused on in this harness is our system remote control wire. Usually this will be a blue and white wire, and most of the time it'll have this little tag on here. Let's run our cables from under our dash over to our stereo. We're going to start with our remote control wire, and this is actually going to be the hardest one because I'm going to be soldering it to our brown wire. I grabbed some heat shrink tubing and my soldering stuff and got the job done. And once that's soldered, all we have to do is plug in our RCA cables. You want to pay attention to the markings on the RCA inputs. You'll have subwoofer left and right, you'll have front left and right, and you'll have rear left and right. First, we'll plug in our subwoofer wires, and then we'll plug in the RCA cables for our front and rear speakers. The RCA cables we have are all color coded, so just take a picture once you have everything installed so you know what goes where. And now that we got those all plugged in, we can reinstall our stereo. Next, we're going to install our driver door speaker wire. That's going to be going from our amplifier all the way up to the speaker on the driver door. And we're going to route that the same way we did our RCA cables. We're going to get the stereo wire prepped, and then later we're going to be installing it through the door harness boot. And then finally, the last wire we're going to be running is from the amplifier to our passenger door speaker. And like I said, we don't want to run this too close to our power wire, so we're going to be wiring this up through the middle area of the carpet. That'll be going up near our stereo, but then it'll take a right turn and go right across to the passenger door. To decrease sound interference, you want to make sure you're running any audio wires perpendicular from your power wire, not parallel. And now that we have all of our wires routed up, we can get our carpet reinstalled. I grabbed a pocket knife, made a couple holes into the carpet so that I could run the ground wire. And now I can get the rear cab carpet installed. I found a great place right under the dash here to get our bass knob installed, and then all we have to do is plug in the cable we ran earlier with our remote power wire. Alright guys, it is time to get our amplifier plugged in. On this side of the amplifier, we have our power and ground inputs, we also have our remote power cable input, and then on the right side here, we have all of our outputs for our subwoofer and our speakers. And then if we flip it over, we have all of our RCA inputs, as well as the input for our bass knob. And then along the perimeter here, we have all of the adjustment knobs for each of the speakers and the subwoofer. Let's start getting all these cables and wires plugged in. First, we're going to start with our subwoofer RCA cables. These will be the left and right for our channel 5 input. And then we can plug in all the other RCA cables for our front and rear speakers. And then the last thing for this side is going to be the plug for the bass knob. And now we can get the power cable, remote power wire, and ground cable installed. And then finally, we can start installing our speaker output wires. Channels 1 and 2 are going to be our dedicated front speakers. Channel 5 will be our subwoofer. And in this video, I'm going to be leaving 3 and 4 blank. You'll want to ensure you're paying attention to which wire you're putting as positive and negative, because it'll matter on each of the speakers. And then finally, we can get our speaker wire for our subwoofer installed in channel 5. And now that everything is plugged in, we can clean up the area and get ready to install our sub. And here it is guys, our Rockford Frostgate subwoofer perfectly in its place. The subwoofer did come with accessory brackets. I'm not going to be installing those in this video, but you can put those wherever you want to get the subwoofer fastened. Now that it's sitting where I want it to, we're going to get our positive and negative stereo wires connected to our sub. And with that done, we are almost finished with this project guys. Our subwoofer and our amplifier are installed. All we need to do next is the doors. But while our speakers are disconnected, I think it'd be a perfect time to test out our brand new subwoofer. So let's get the power wire connected and we can reconnect our ground and give it a little test. Already sounds so awesome guys. This is going to sound awesome when we get our speakers amplified also. So let's get our bench reinstalled and we'll get back to the action wiring our door speakers. We'll start by removing the door panels. Then we can grab a screwdriver and get our speaker removed from the door. Now we can remove our old connectors. I'm not going to cut them, I'm just going to wrap them up and keep them in the door. And then once we get our speaker wires run through the boot for the harness, we can get these terminated with our speaker plugs. And we can get them crimped onto the wires. I threw a little heat shrink on them for some good measure, but now we can get them plugged onto our speaker. Get that speaker reinstalled into the door. and then just go do the same thing on the other side. And now our door speakers are amped up and should sound so much better, guys. Now that we have our system totally installed, let's turn it on and see if we can hear a difference. The bass sounds awesome, and I haven't even messed with any of the gain or amp settings yet. And that is it, guys. That is how we get the super shallow sub installed into our single cab truck. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more like this, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on my next auto adventures.